الله من الشيطان الرجيم. We seek the protection of God from Shaitan, who has been expelled from God's kingdom of special grace and mercy, if we avoid these satanic habits of arrogance and defiance. Whatever we know to be true by the guidance of the God-given intellect, the divine revelation, the human conscience, we submit. And if we avoid the satanic habit of defiance, whatever we know to be wrong and evil, by the God-given intellect, the divine revelation, the human conscience, we don't commit. And if we have reliance on God, definitely we'll get the strength to be able to distinguish right from wrong, to have the strength to oppose evil and the strength to do good. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We humbly seek guidance and grace from God because He is the all-perfect being. Nobody can achieve perfection until He wills it so. And we ask for His grace and guidance because He is Rahman. His Rahmah, His love, His mercy reaches out to each and every entity, brings it to life and sustains it and leads it to its goal of creation. And we ask for His grace and guidance because He is Rahim. His continuous, ever-growing, eternal mercy, love, reward is available to all. Specifically those who believe in Him and follow His commands. Alhamdulillah, all praise belongs to God and God alone. These days we commemorate the history of the Holy Lady Fatima, Sayyidatu Nisa'il Alameen. So I quote the praise from her sermon which she delivered in the mosque of the Holy Prophet. To praise God in words we haven't heard before. All praise belongs to Him for all the bounties that He has granted. All thanks to Him because of the inspiration He instills in our hearts. And the bounties which He has given, which are universal and all-pervasive, and total and comprehensive, and complete and perfect. And then she mentions three qualities of these ni'mah which Allah has given. And these three qualities we should always keep in mind in all aspects of our lives. Number one, that the number of ni'mah Allah gives is basically uncountable. Number two, even if it were to be countable, we cannot compensate enough. Number three, how can we ever compensate for everything when there are so many ni'mah which we don't even comprehend? As time progresses, we come to realize more ni'mah which Allah gives. And this applies to all aspects of our lives, be it the body. Think about different organs. Think about the value of an organ that begins to fail. and you need to have it transplanted, and the amount of money you would need to pay if medical technology is available for that transplantation. Think of the ni'mah that we get in our family life. Marriage. Marriages begin to fail when there is more kufr and there is less shukr. When we begin to ignore the good in the married life, the positive in married life. There is no marriage without problems. In the environment, in the physical universe, everywhere, our attitude that she is proposing we should develop is that the ni'mah are uncountable. Allow me, we are here in an ocean area, and therefore the sea is the nearest physical, environmental, universal phenomena that we see. Look at the number of ni'mah that we have not yet been able to even count. It is said that more than half, no, 3/4 of life is not on the earth, dry land, it's in the oceans. We don't even know. It is said that 99% of the space that can sustain life is not on land. 99% of that space is in the oceans. The oceans are quite deep. Average is almost about 4 kilometers. It reaches even beyond. And almost 80%, no, 90% of this ocean is deep and dark and cold and yet undiscovered. And the amount of life they have officially registered that we have discovered, about 226,500 or so species have been named. And they estimate, this is 250,000, they estimate there are about 2 million, no, 10 million, no, 50 million, higher estimate, of species of life which is there on the earth, the majority of which is in the oceans. And therefore, take a simple example like an area of this mosque. It was studied in depth in the deep sea, and they found almost 1,000 different species from more than 100 different families of the animal kingdom and the dozen phyla. And 50% of these 1,000 or so that were discovered just in this small area of an ocean that was studied, 50% of them were newly discovered. They were not even known. And so she teaches us, and the ocean should remind us, that there are many ni'mah which we don't know. There are many ni'mah which we can't know. And there are many ni'mah. No, there are none of the ni'mah for which we can adequately thank Allah. أوصيكم عباد الله ونفسي بتقوى الله. Community of believers, I wish to remind you and myself about the necessity of taqwa. The most important duty we have towards the ni'mah is to be thankful. She continues to say, وَنَدَبَهُمْ لِاسْتِزَادَتِهَا بِالشُّكْرِ لِاتِّصَالِهَا. And Allah has invited us that if you want more ni'mah, then you should have shukr. If we are having problems in our lives, be it our personal life, physical health, emotional health, mental health, remember there is somewhere shukr not going on. If there's problem in married life, parent-children relationship, somewhere there's not enough shukr going on, there's kufr. If there's problem in the social world, in the financial world, in the business world, somewhere there is kufr, somewhere there is sinfulness, somewhere there is negligence, somewhere there is abuse, somewhere there is excessive use, sinful use of the ni'mah that Allah grants us. And therefore, it is a clear sign that shaitan has entered our lives. Shaitan has sworn that I will do everything possible, O Lord, that you will ultimately find this human being unthankful. فَبِمَا أَغْوَيْتَنِي. O Lord, now that you have misguided me, he's accusing God. for him not doing sajda, for him being tested by God to do sajda, and he refuses to do sajda. He refuses to do sajda, but he blames God. That because of you, now I have to be removed from this kingdom. فَبِمَا أَغْوَيْتَنِي لَأَقْعُدَنَّ لَهُمْ صِرَاطَكَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. This straight path, quick path, short path, quickest path to salvation, which you have shown man through the intellect, through the revelation, through the conscience. This path, I will block it to them. I will distort their thinking. I will divert their emotions and feelings, and I will deviate their conscience. ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ وَعَنْ شَمَائِلِهِمْ. And then I will launch an all-out attack from their front, from their back, from their right, from their left. From their front, meaning their future, I'll make them forget the akhirah. Everything is dunya. You're looking for Jannah here. Jahannam, Baba, fear the bala here. That's the Jahannam. They'll forget about akhirah. I will attack them from their back, what they leave behind, their wealth. Get more wealth. Hoard it. Save it. You can't leave your children without inheritance. Baba, there's halal and haram. No, I cannot leave my children. I cannot starve here myself. Wrong satanic thinking to justify wrong practices of earning and hoarding and spending wealth. And I will attack them on their left. Left as a symbol of the sinful part of the human being. The sinful pleasures. I'll make them appear as insignificant. You can do sins now. Inshallah, you'll do tawbah later on. I will attack them from their right, their point of strength, deen, aql. I will distort their thinking. I will introduce bid'ah. I will make sins appear as ibadah. Even deen can become a source of misguidance if we don't follow the right guides to understand what is the truth. And therefore, it's important for us to be always thankful. The Quran says in several verses, for example in Surah A'raf, ayah number 10, وَلَقَدْ مَكَّنَّاكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And we have established you on the earth. We have enabled you to inhabit. We have empowered you. We've given all the facilities for your life on the earth. وَجَعَلْنَا لَكُمْ فِيهَا مَعَائِشَ. And we have given ma'isha to you, different means of sustenance and livelihood, different facilities. Look around, different sources of food, fruit, drinks, dress, dwellings. No, beyond that, look at the oceans, look at the earth, look at the arrangement of the sun and the moon to facilitate life on the earth. No life found anywhere on any of the other planets. Look at the amount of heat and light that reaches the earth from the sun. Look at the force of gravity, not too much, not too little. Look at the seasons, look at the animal world, look at the plant world. Everywhere you look, everything is designed, facilitated, provided for you so that you can have a comfortable life. قَلِيلًا مَا تَشْكُرُونَ. Problem? You don't even bother to think, to observe, to appreciate, to realize the great bounties that God grants. You're living near the sea. So let's give an example of the sea. Surah Nahl, ayah number 14. وَهُوَ الَّذِي سَخَّرَ الْبَحْرَ. This wide ocean, 99% of life is there. Living space. All of it is for the benefit of man. Sakhar al-Bahr is not there. It's Sakhar al-Bahr for your benefit. It has been subjugated. It has been put at your disposal. You know, I was just checking about the Mafia Islands. Mafia Islands, after this tragedy that happened, may Allah give sabr to the bereaved family. May Allah give rahmah and maghfirah to those who have departed. The Mafia Islands have yet been undiscovered, even by the scientists. One of the attractive areas to go there is to watch the whale shark. A shark which is the largest fish other than the whale. Huge size, reaches almost 11, 12 meters in length, 20 tons in weight. But these huge animals, you can go and swim near them and they won't even touch you, because they are not human predators. They are plant eaters. 20 tons of fish, single fish, they only eat plants. They're not going to touch humans. If at all, this 20-ton shark should be afraid of the humans. The humans capture them. There's a huge biodiversity of life there. The coral reef. The coral reefs are beautiful places to go and visit. Diversity, it is said that it's made of the same calcium as you find in the human bones. In fact, they're now considering to do research and to see in those human beings where there is requirement for bone transplantation to take that material and transplant. Up until now, you want to go for your knee with arthritis, there's an artificial prosthesis which is manufactured and designed. Right now, they're looking for another natural alternative. وَهُوَ الَّذِي سَخَّرَ الْبَحْرَ. All of them is for you, but you're asleep. لِتَأْكُلُوا مِنْهُ لَحْمًا طَرِيًّا. So that you may eat fresh flesh from the sea. Fish of the sea provide the largest source of proteins to the human beings. وَتَسْتَخْرِجُ مِنْهُ حِلْيَةً تَلْبَسُونَهَا. Even your ornaments and your jewelry can come from the sea. وَتَرَى الْفُلْكَ مَوَاخِرَ فِيهِ. And you see beautiful, this heavy ship that doesn't sink. It floats, it splits the water and sails on the ocean. وَلِتَبْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. So that you may seek God's grace and rizq through the sea. You go to any market to shop. Those products which are not locally manufactured, they have been imported into Tanzania. 90% of the trade, it's the sea. وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. So that you may be thankful for this wonderful ni'mah that Allah has granted you in the form of the sea. May Allah give us tawfiq to be able to be thankful always. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wal Asr. Allah swears by time. Innal insana lafi khusr. Man is in a state of loss if he forgets the higher power that rules the universe. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Unless you actively seek and observe and appreciate and realize, and then be thankful in all areas of your life. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ. And then you train and guide and encourage and educate others. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And then collectively fight against evil and sin. صدق الله العظيم.